Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Thursday to you. Coming to you live here at I Am Trading. We got that's kind of a radio announcer, huh? Ooh, guys, we may have a setup right here. Nice little downtrend. We got 2 legs back. Let's see about this signal bar. See if I can get everything ready in time. Yeah, it doesn't look like that signal bar is gonna be legit, but hey, we're doing something this morning. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Chris. Hey, Shraddha. Hey, Squid. See what this next bar does. We might tick higher than the previous one and turn down, in which case I'm gonna be all about it. We have some old levels on the chart. I don't know why. I think those are just all the ones that we broke through yesterday. Could be the next one. So we're good on levels. We could totally take this. Morning, Archer. Hey, Tom. Okay, we just want to see this bar tick higher than the previous one and then turn down. And then we're going to be in it to win it, baby. There's also a little bit of a trend here on NQ. A little more tricky to identify. And it looks a little bit more vertical, the correction. So I like this better on ES right now. So far, this bar is not turning around like we want to. That's okay. I mean, I don't really enjoy taking setups right at the open. I take them if they form, but I'm not eager to put on a trade right when we're bound to get a little burst of volatility. It also could be that we just have a more narrow channel that's already played out, so I'll be ready for that possibility too. A lot can happen at the open here. And as far as what we got slated today, we do have flash manufacturing and services 15 minutes after the open. Existing home sales at 10. I don't expect either of those to be too incredibly impactful. As the market really is waiting for Jackson Hole tomorrow. That's when we should see some fireworks. Right now we're above the moving average, so we can't consider that short any longer. And there is the market open. Okay, I'll consider a lower high now that we're below the EMA. Kind of looks like it wants to just go straight to a new low here without offering us a setup. NQ already made a new low here. We'd expect a bounce on that indice. Kind of volatile here at the open, guys. Which I am down for. Let's get some movement, you know what I mean? Let's do it. Good morning, Bill. Could have taken that lower high that formed. I'm just not liking back and forth on these candles. It looks like something crazy is about to happen. Good morning, Yas. If we get one more lower high at the EMA, I'll be forced to take it though. Again, keeping in mind we do have some news here in 15 minutes. S&P has now had two measured legs back. This could be when we get that final push to the new low. If we advance much higher than that, we'll stop expecting a new low and start looking at potential uptrends. As far as levels, we have the previous day's high, previous day's low above us. So far inside that, and inside the overnight high and overnight low. So we got a double inside pattern right now. Here we're getting that push down. Let's see if sellers want to make that new low. NQ still kind of chopping around this general area. Yes, trying to push. It's also looking pretty rangy around here. NQ trying to break out of that little range. We get a solid bearish bar here, might consider the short. NQ pushing up. ES, interestingly enough, has not made a new relative high. Slightly weaker than NQ right here. Good morning, Jonathan. We're now like 6 minutes away from that news. As I mentioned, I don't think it'll be too significant, but you never know. You could for sure get a couple volatile candles. Yeah, maybe if there's a big surprise in the numbers, we could get something. But more likely is that the market will eventually settle down as we wait to hear what Powell has to say tomorrow morning. There's a nice little push down for ES. NQ as well. Getting a little push. Sellers saying what's up. See if it has any follow through or if we keep chopping upwards. It's been a slightly bullish bias since the open. If we weren't so close to the news, I might consider taking a position here. Yes, settling into a range. And yeah, I'm gonna go flat here before Flash Manufacturing and Flash Services PMI. Especially since we don't have a clear market direction. Like if there was a really clear channel and something was set up, I might risk it, even with the news, but not when we're just chopping in a range. That's really just asking to lose some money. Right, we got what? About 30 seconds now until this news release. So again, I don't expect it to be massive, but would suggest to be flat. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Scuba Steve. Wise words, Scuba Steve. Here we go. Manufacturing came in higher than expected. Services did as well. Let's see what the market thinks about that. Apparently not good so far. So this downtrend is technically now played out on the S&P. We had our trend down here. We had our pullback. There's that second leg. We've reached a new low. So at this point, we have to pause shorts. We are more likely to correct than continue for the time being. You don't want to enter late like this. Look at that. A bounce right on schedule. That is why it's so important to keep track of trends. We were expecting that bounce. There's probably a lot of traders that were not. Probably a lot that entered in here saying, oh man, this market reaction is negative. Let's get short. Nope. Suckers got trapped into that one. Trends played out. Not the time to short. Keeping track of this short-term uptrend here. If it plays out and pushes below the EMA again, we'll be ready to short. If it continues higher, then we'll have to adapt to that and start looking for longs. It appears that this uptrend may be played out, unless it develops into a wider one. We have a little break here, new high. We would expect to push down. If we don't get it, and this makes another new high, keeps going, that's when we'll have to widen the trend. And it is appearing, guys, that the market may be settling in to this area. We had some nice movement down that was looking pretty decent there for a minute. Immediately got reversed. And I don't think it's going to take too long for today to settle into dull price action leading up to the Jackson Hole speech tomorrow. Just realized I've not updated my levels on NQ. Yeah, there we go on NQ. Still between yesterday's high and low, and pretty much between the overnight high and low. It dipped down below it on that news and then shot right back up. All trends have pretty much played out. We're just kind of waiting to see what happens next. Right now it looks like buyers may want to push towards a new high here. There we go. Sellers are not gone, folks. They are not gone. I am expecting a range, but hey, if we get a trend, I am not going to argue with that. I agree, Tom. A lot of big players that haven't showed their intentions. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any big positions put on before tomorrow. I think institutions are going to want to wait. I think there might be a lot of jockeying for little positions here and there, but ultimately kind of some inside action. I don't think you're going to see either side committing to a big move before such a major announcement. I wish it was different, but that's the most likely outcome. We'll be watching the low of day. We're going to sell. We're going to have to break through that with conviction and hold below it. Maybe a little support here at this range. We'll see. NQ is looking a lot more weak. It is already going down to challenge the low of day. NQ tapped the low. Looks like we got a double bottom right now. Starting to break it. Starting to break it. Will we have follow through? That's the question. Watch that level. It needs to act as resistance now. big shot up right after that new low was made. Bulls are coming in, baby. Bulls are back. What is up? Going to challenge the high day here. Here's this move up. Watch it carefully. Coming up to that high of day. This thing could just blow right through. In queue, reluctantly coming along for the ride. But still not really seeing that strength that the ES has. It's a nice bounce, but it's certainly not as strong, not as high, not as swift as it is on ES. So that is something to note, where tech is not leading this move up. But as we break over the high of day, as long Oh geez, was my mic muted? How long was that muted? I just looked down and saw that it was not on, so I have no idea how long I've been yapping that you guys haven't heard a word I said. It just glitched for a second. Okay, I must have like bumped the mute button for a hot minute. Slight little break of that move up on ES. Correction is pretty likely here soon. and then we'll see how strong this move is based on the correction. Already kind of looks like it could be played out with a break in a new high. Good morning to you too, Toad. And that was new home sales too, guys. Forgot that news was dropping right in the midst of all that action. Sorry, existing home sales did come in a bit higher than was projected. Hey, Yas, thank you. Thank you for the blessing. All right. So I can no longer really take the long because it does look like this uptrend does have a slight break in new high. Even though there's a potential secondary channel, I'm not really into playing that on a rangy day like today. At the same time, I don't want to short because, well, it should be obvious. We got a big spike up here, so I'm not looking to try to predict when this is going to stop. So another area of development. We'll see what becomes of this spike up, if it develops into a strong uptrend or if it fizzles out. All right, here is our correction. See if this holds the EMA or reverses. If it holds, I can consider a long. Still just consolidating up here in no man's land. We might go challenge yesterday's high, and then it's still a pretty big distance to the all-time high above that, but yesterday's high is definitely in target. Over on NQ, similar story. We're just now peaking above yesterday's high, though, where ES, we're like for sure above it. So just not a lot of strength in tech. It's definitely lagging behind on this move. NQ possibly played out. Yes, possibly played out, but as always, this spike in channel could continue. If anyone got short this morning, they are not feeling it anymore. Toad asking if I'm big on triple tests. It kind of depends. I use them more as like a confirmation of a setup I'm already looking to take. So like if I'm already looking long and already looking for a second entry and it happens to be a triple test, that's extra confirmation. But yeah, I don't look at them in isolation. This thing just keeps on going, huh? Very interesting price action for this kind of day. Like if you're just going to look at the pattern, this is a very bullish pattern, but it's moving so incredibly slow. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Did anyone make the mistake of chasing this move down here, trying to short and getting wrecked on this? Or better yet, is someone trying to predict the top, trying to go short up here somewhere? Both of those are bad ideas. I shouldn't have said that. Now no one's going to admit it. Yeah, I did something bad and dumb. Guys, it's okay. Your rando's on the internet. No one will ever know. Right on, Paul. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Waiting for confirmation is such a simple thing. Can save you so much money. This thing is just moving at a snail's pace. If I had to guess what's going to happen, I'd say at some point this is going to have a pretty big spike down. Not saying it's going to fully reverse, but I think we're going to get some sort of move like this. Again, you don't want to try to predict when that's going to be, because this thing could crawl. You could try to short here, right? And then it crawls up to here before it makes that drop. And you stopped out here, and now you're getting that move you want. So there's no sense in trying to predict when it's going to happen. And it might not. Like, this may just turn into a real strong trend, but we are still, for context, we still have not even breached the overnight high. I mean, and nor have we breached yesterday's high or yesterday's low. This is still an inside day. We got a range within a rangeception going down. So context is not even strong. So keep that in mind. Yeah, as I've said, the real action will likely be tomorrow. If Powell says anything spicy, which I hope he does. Yeah, well, I'll be hunting setups the rest of the day on Discord. You guys can find me over there. Well, I say the rest of the day, but I don't know. Might only be a couple more hours with this kind of price action. But yeah, hope it is a great day for you. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, as always. See the team over on the Discord. Links below if you want to join. And until next time, guys, have a good one.